of hundreds of years of penalties. And that's the kind of leverage that makes someone plea. And if he doesn't plea, then he's going to be sitting in front of a jury of his peers that he has argued probably unsuccessfully that is tainted, but they're not. And they are going to say, well, then we are sentencing you to dozens and dozens of years. Because when you go to a minimum security prison and you see in the yard who's been sentenced to 15 years and 25 years and 35 years, it's people that gambled on a jury trial of a white-collar crime. And by the way, your point about lack of remorse, if there is one thing that the Fed needs to see when they are negotiating with you to plead or when they are setting the terms for a trial, it's remorse. And if there is none, the ball's in their court.
As you look at this, Kennedy, you know, a lot of times see that privilege come into play. They don't even get to the trial. But a lot of times the feds are going after a bigger fish. He's the whale, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
He's not a bigger fish.
No, he is the big fish, and the privilege that he was using, that he was engaging in, was mostly political. The reason he was donating to all these Democrats was they're in power. He wants them to write bills that benefit him completely. But he screwed everything up, you know, through hubris and what John called unsophisticated, inexperienced, like grossly inexperienced and they weren't good at what they were doing. They didn't know what they were doing. And they were just a bunch of rubes running around, really impressed with themselves, buying friends like Tom Brady and Giselle and Larry David and Shaq. We haven't heard much from them. You know, what should say, wow, we feel really bad. We told people to buy into this exchange, and then they lost all of their money. Our fans who have looked up to us for years, we built these fans on public trust, and we're telling people who maybe don't have a lot of money to put their money here. They lost it all. So yes, I do think you have some moral accountability there. And to Emily's point, these are very serious charges. Not only is he being charged by the Southern District of New York, you've also got the civil aspect, the SEC going after him for billions of dollars in related fraud.
Well, and the Bahamas aren't giving him up yet. The courts down there are going to take a look at him, and we haven't quite officially asked for extradition. So what is outside of the United States potentially is exposure for him?
Well, they had operations all over. I was just reading about their operation in Australia, and again, very flimsy. It's so funny because Ray mentioned that they were doing all of this on QuickBooks. Like QuickBooks is great if you start a business, you're doing a dog grooming business and that kind of stuff. But when you get to multi-billions of dollars in certain layers, he was shocked. But I wanted to pick up on what Kennedy was saying. So was that stupidity
or on purpose?
I just think I think this whole thing began as arrogance. That if you look at the way the company is designed, I think, from my personal opinion, it was designed to steal from people from day one. From day one, it was designed with backdoors to rob the American public. Here's the thing, though. In addition to those celebrities, who, by the way, they really don't know anything about the financial world. What about the financial him up that helped him raise money at a $32 billion valuation? Sequoia is number one on the list. Sequoia is the biggest venture capital firm in the world. They've raised money for him twice last year. They posted an article about him bragging about this wonder kid who can do anything. And by the way, he doesn't read. In the article it says, I don't like to read, and anyone who writes is dumb. Imagine if you went to the big in the world and say, hey, I got a great idea, but I don't read. You get kicked out of this so fast. You don't even know that will happen. Like, what the hell are you doing?
How did they cozy
That's what I'm saying. Something doesn't work. Someone ain't stupid. Something does not work here. This isn't a $1 billion scam. It's worked its way up to, at one point, a $50 billion scam. Something is wrong. Very powerful people knew about this. I pray we get to the very bottom of it. And everyone is shamed and pays the price.
The saddest part is that money doesn't go back to those people, just like the rots in prison or Sequoia folds or doesn't, because the bottom line is the average American will not get their money back, and that's the saddest part.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. Wow, what a great discussion. I'm so glad that you're both here. Jackie, we'll talk about your new show later.
Okay.
And the puppy. You got a new
Got my show.
We have dogs in the bathroom with the pose. And a labor touch. Oh my goodness. Anyway, California Governor Gavin making the trip to the southern border. But it's not to see the crisis or meet with Border Patrol agents. Is there a Michelin-star restaurant on there?
Oh, yes, the Mexican laundry.
He's seeing what he can help the massive number of people who want to come into our country. He wants to facilitate what we're seeing on the border right now from the other side. Well, more on that on the other side of this commercial break.
Life can be a tug of war. I thought it's a good theme, something that everyone can understand.
Paul McCartney shares exclusive stories and plays every song from his 1982 album, Tug of War.
Steve is a musical monster.
Paul McCartney, Tug of War, a track-by-track album special.
Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, on the Beatles channel.
And anytime in the SXM app. Just search McCartney.
The JCPenney Mystery Sale is back for the holidays. Through Thursday, usher in huge holiday savings with our in-store coupon giveaway. You can get an extra 30, 40, or even 50% off while they last. Simply find an associate for a coupon, then reveal your deal. Hurry in now to discover the savings you've been wishing for. We got your holiday. JCPenney. Coupon valid on select styles through 12/15. Apply. Giveaway in-store only. Must be 18 years or older. See store for details.
Regulated activities performed by a licensed affiliate.
I had no idea I could sell my life insurance policy.
Norman and Nancy Dugan for Coventry Direct.
We were about to let Norman's policy lapse because premiums. Our kids are doing well on their own, so we just don't need it anymore.
Then Nancy called Coventry.
They were so helpful. And
if you're over 65 and have $100,000 or more of life insurance, you may qualify.
This past year, we're celebrating life. We've booked some long overdue travel. Kids' college.
Coventry Direct has helped thousands live the life they want to live, pay for unplanned medical expenses, or supplement retirement income. When it comes to selling your life insurance, Coventry's got you covered. Call 800-378-2989. To learn more about how you can get cash by selling your life insurance. Call 800-378-2989.
Hey, it's Jillian Barbary. If you could give one holiday gift that could help the entire family avoid seasonal colds, flu, and even COVID, that would be the best gift ever, right? EnviroCleanse is the new science in-home air purification, and they've just announced an unbelievable holiday sale that you can't afford to miss. Here's what sold me on EnviroCleanse. The air circulating in my home from room to room, family member to family member, including holiday guests, is a breeding ground for viruses and germs. That's how colds, flus, and COVID can take down your entire family. EnviroCleanse advanced mineral technology kills microviruses, germs, they kill bacteria that other purifiers simply miss. That's why there are over 300,000 EnviroCleanse units in classrooms, and why the Navy chose EnviroCleanse to scrub the air on board Navy ships and subs. And with their healthy holiday sale and fast free shipping, you can give the gift of a healthy holiday to your entire family. Visit ekpure.com and use code XM. That's ekpure.com. Code XM.
Get dressed you in an man and Tommy John each day. Remember, it's the perfect gift to give this holiday.
With over 18 million pairs sold to good boys and girls just like you. Wearing in this softest season with a gift to those who made my nice list. You deserve a special gift of Tommy John underwear and loungewear.
Tommy John's Bernie Ward. Underwear and loungewear upon each blessed ward, making everyone come to this party they enjoy. Get Tommy John for joy, comfort and joy. Get Tommy John for comfort and joy.
This holiday season, make everyone in your family that much more comfortable with the holiday gift of Tommy John underwear and loungewear. For the holidays, get 30% off at TommyJohn.com/news. 30% off right now at TommyJohn.com/news. See site for details.
Invita's Precision Second is disrupting the world of late-stage cancer in a positive way. Sandy, Archie, and Jan all had something in common. Late-stage colon, prostate, and breast cancers that didn't have targeted treatment options. Technology has given them their lives back. I'm Dr. Dino Prada. We welcome you to utilize our Precision Second Opinion and discover if Invita is right for you. Visit us at invita.com.
predicted to become catastrophic, as up to 10,000 illegal migrants could arrive daily once Title 42 ends in just 8 days from now. The New York Post covered today calling the lead up to the policy's end rush hour. So California Governor Newsom thought it was a good time to head to the Immigration Support Center, but didn't bother to meet with our overwhelmed Border Patrol.
Cali, which is on the other side of the border, while I had the opportunity to meet with the governor and meet national humanitarian leaders, as well as many migrants from Haiti, from Guatemala, and from parts of Mexico that are waiting for their asylum processing right here at the border. So we're here now on the other side in Calexico, to get an understanding, a deeper understanding of what the world looks like pre Title 42. It's going to look like in a few weeks post Title 42.
Charles, the show's not wrong to detail his policy failures, but in terms of the PR aspect of this, in a way it's surprising, given his entire decades-long campaign for president, frankly, on how he appears socially and in that PR arena. Why has he gotten this so wrong?
Not how you drive.
It could be he really is adhering to this sort of ideology, or he's in so deep he can't turn back. But I think the one problem is this is a difficult journey for these in particular. And to sort of say to the world, hey, we're open, if you can get to the border, you're in, you're luring them in here. And the culpability that the government should take, the advocates of these sanctuary cities, someone like a Newsom who's saying, come on, there was a young lady the one woman used to do my wife's nails, and her daughter came, and she was missing for a week.
Missing?
They didn't know where she was. Her journey was 3 weeks long, and for 1 week, they had to pay off the mafia, they had to pay everyone. The family all got together and put this together. I know other families have made the journey. It is so dangerous to even, you talk about a humanitarian crisis, to lure people like that, it's a sin, I think. It's not right.
And Harris, what I don't understand is, for a governor who seems to, again, project his deep-seated experience, how can he not even acknowledge law enforcement? How can he not even acknowledge Border Patrol and the crucial role they play? He can adhere to that ideology while saying, and I support our Border Patrol doing our work.
No, he can't, because that won't help him get his next job. I mean, he wants to run for president, and you know how we know? Because he keeps telling us, and he goes, oh, he went to the border. He went south of the border, at least. He didn't go to the cities on our side of the border. But yeah, I don't think it helps him politically. He's got a wall in his state, by the way, so he's having a little different experience. So does Kamala Harris, you know, they're from California, having a little bit different in Southern California, went to school at UC Santa Barbara. So I understand. We'd go down to, like, you know, Tijuana, and it was a very different situation. In Nogales now. Right, in Nogales, Arizona. I got married 8 miles from the border. And it was a very different situation.
He was trying to hit
What it is now is we are overrun. They're not going to checkpoints. They're going everywhere else. They're poking the bear. So our resources have to go here and let that fentanyl cross unattended. Our resources have to go here and let that human smuggling come on through in areas that are porous. And there are so many of them, particularly in places where Bill Malushin is reporting today, down in the Del Rio sector. Look, we have decided as a to hold the Biden administration accountable. They had a chance to do that, and they didn't do it. They had a chance to do it in the midterms, and they didn't do it. Voters made that decision. So as a voting public now, we have to look at this and wonder, who does this benefit? Because we're still in the situation where inflation is high. And I talked with Steve Forbes last hour. I'll make this quick. He said this makes it worse for us because somebody's going to have to support these people when the jobs start to go away, because companies start to feel the pressure of the oncoming months and months and months long of high prices and weaker stagflation.
Yeah, Kennedy, what a slap in the face to those remaining Californians, to Harris's point. The ones who could afford to flee already did. Yes. The ones that remain are stuck saddled with the debt, saddled with the heavy weight of the incompetence and impotence of Governor Newsom's administration. And now they're going to be left holding that diluted structure that Harris articulated as the rush hour commences.
Yeah, and he is actively draining the resources of a once great state. And now, you know, he's complaining that Republicans are botching immigration. And it's like, bro, the president is a Democrat. Both houses of Congress still, until January, are held by Democrats. Like, they very easily could have tackled this issue and could have given us some immigration solutions. They chose not to do that. Talk about someone who's been completely passive here. The vice president, the border czarina, has done nothing. So part of what Newsom is doing is trying to contrast himself with Vice President Harris by saying, well, hey, look at me. I'm actually at the border. I'm in Mexico. It's meaningless. It is all political theater. And there are, to Charles' point, at stake here and lives being lost of the most vulnerable. Shame on all of them. He does not deserve to be president, and certainly not on this issue.
That's absolutely right. And I think they've lost sight, frankly, that he's every Californian's governor. He's only the governor of that very left-wing, tiny minutia people who that radical ideology and that political theater.
And that's who he's catering to. And part of going down there and turning a blind eye to what is happening, the humanitarian actual crisis, as you point out, Charles, of across the border, is because they're trying to change the demographics in this country. They want more people in this country that will turn red states purpler and then eventually blue, and that's the overall agenda of the Democrats, and that's what he's playing into. You know, to your point, Harris, about how much this is costing us, the Fed is going to continue to raise rates because 7.1% inflation is still really high. 2 million people will lose their jobs next year, and we're going to continue to have to support all of these causes and people coming into this country because that's what we do. And it's going to be a rough 2023.
Austerity. Look, nobody turns a state from red to purple the way Gavin Newsom did. Go to Arizona. All those people who have fled California and all those U-Hauls on their way, some of them along the border, particularly Arizona.
And it just shows the impact one governor, one person in a leadership position can have. Because I don't recognize my California anymore, but I recognize that same person at the helm. Coming up, even the movie critics and fawning press couldn't save it. The AOC collided box office, pulling in just, wait for it, $80 a theater. Whoa! What, $2 more than a Coke? That's next.
What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Great gifts for everyone on your list. Cool toys, matching pajama sets, beauty essentials, designer handbags, cozy sweaters, and more. Plus, Star Rewards members earn on every Macy's Backstage purchase, except gift card services and fees. Get low prices every day on fab finds at Macy's Backstage. Off price, arriving daily. More at Macy'sBackstage.com.
Your happily ever after is waiting for you in the Chrysler Pacifica and Pacifica Plug-in Hybrid. With available all-wheel drive, Pacifica helps handle adverse conditions like magic. And with the plug-in hybrid, it can help your range anxiety disappear. Make your drive even more enchanted in the Chrysler Pacifica. And watch Disney's Disenchanted, now streaming only on Disney Plus, rated PG. Disney Plus subscription required. Must be 18 plus to subscribe. EPA estimated 520-mile total range with charged battery. Actual mileage may vary.
Guys, 2022's been a roller coaster year, so spoil her this Christmas by giving her the next best thing to nothing at all with soft, silky, naturally nude pajamas exclusively from Pajamagram. Sensuous and smooth, naturally nude pajamas feel just like skin, even more alluring than lingerie. The touch of these pajamas is so seductive that you'll both love the feel of them. She'll love the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all, and you'll love the way they look. Best of all, Pajamagram does the wrapping for you with free gift packaging. Order today, and will also include a free matching naturally nude nightie with the purchase of naturally nude pajamas. That is free gift packaging and a free naturally nude nightie when you order today. Just go to Pajamagram.com. It's fast, easy, and delivery by Christmas is guaranteed. That's Pajamagram.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
With car prices at an all-time high, our donors are now getting highest receipts ever. Don't miss out. Too. Donate at carsforkids.org and your car can be picked up tomorrow.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 20. diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them.